The desert sun beat down hard on the planet's crimson sands, turning the landscape into a shimmering sea of heat. Humans had only recently begun exploring these outer systems, and Earth's best explorers often found themselves far from home, navigating alien worlds that challenged every assumption about life. Among them was Lieutenant Ryan Carter, a skilled human pilot assigned to the outer exploration fleet. Today, he had been sent on a scouting mission to a newly discovered planet, one that intelligence satellites suggested might hold intelligent life. Ryan adjusted the visor of his helmet and squinted across the rolling dunes. At first, the planet seemed empty, just a wasteland of red dust and jagged rocks. But something caught his attention, a faint shimmer almost like a mirage but too structured to be natural. As he approached, the shimmer solidified into a figure, a small humanoid form, moving awkwardly across the sands. Her skin had a faint lavender glow and her eyes shone like twin moons. She looked young, no older than a human teenager, yet her posture carried a strange confidence. Ryan lowered his hand slowly, showing he meant no harm. "Hello?" he called, his voice echoing oddly in the dry air. The figure froze, then waved energetically, almost knocking herself over. Human. Please come inside of me," she shouted. Ryan froze. The words sounded bizarre, but the tone was urgent, almost pleading. He took a careful step forward. "I think I'm misunderstanding you," he said. The alien girl's large eyes widened, and she repeated, this time more clearly, "Come inside of me, human. Quickly." Confused, Ryan circled her cautiously, trying to figure out what she meant. Then he saw it, a glowing structure behind her, half buried in the sand. It looked alive, organic like some giant insect, yet somehow metallic too. A biomechanical exosuit, he realized, responding almost instinctively to her commands. "Oh, you mean your ship," he said aloud, relief washing over him. "Right, I thought you... Never mind." He approached the exosuit slowly. It towered over him, about twice his height, with segmented limbs that flexed as if breathing. A large opening at its chest glowed, pulsing gently. "Yes. Inside, hurry," the alien girl said, her voice shaking slightly. "They are coming!" Ryan's instincts kicked in. He scanned the horizon and saw dust clouds rising in the distance. Small scout drones, or maybe creatures, were approaching rapidly. The girl darted toward the exosuit and tapped a glowing panel, and the machine's opening widened as if welcoming him. Without thinking, Ryan stepped inside. The interior was tight, almost cramped, but surprisingly comfortable. Bioluminescent panels lit up around him, and he could feel the exosuit reacting to his presence, scanning him, aligning to him. The alien girl clambered in after him, smaller than the cockpit space allowed. She pressed her hands against the controls instinctively, and the exosuit shivered to life. Lights danced across the walls and a low hum filled the cabin. The suit lifted off the sand effortlessly, kicking up clouds of red dust below. Ryan took a deep breath. "I've piloted advanced ships before, but this is alive," the alien girl smiled nervously. "It is called Aloria. My people bond with it. Only one chosen can enter with me or it will reject us," Ryan blinked. "Chosen? Me? Yes. You are the first human it has ever accepted." Her eyes sparkled. "You are special." Ryan felt a mix of pride and panic. He had trained for combat, exploration, and diplomacy, but this was beyond anything he had expected. "All right then, let's hope we make a good team." The exosuit responded to the girl's motions first, then began syncing subtly with Ryan. It was almost like learning a new dance. She moved, it followed. He moved, it adapted. Within moments, he felt a rhythm forming, a strange unity between human, alien, and machine. Suddenly, the sensors pinged. Multiple heat signatures were closing in fast. Ryan glanced at the displays. "We've got company. And they're fast." The alien girl's expression hardened. "I warned you. They want Aloria. If they take her, my people will never forgive themselves, and you will not leave here alive." Ryan clenched his fists. "Then we fight." The exosuit's limbs extended outward, claws and panels unfolding into weapons. Energy beams lit up the cockpit as the girl operated them instinctively. Ryan tried to keep up, guiding their aim, learning the strange interface. They moved as one, covering each other, dodging the incoming attacks. Sand sprayed as their enemies fired energy blasts that left trenches in the dunes. The exosuit's power was unlike anything Ryan had seen. It wasn't just weapons, it could shift its body, absorb impacts, and even generate a temporary shield around them both. But Ryan quickly realized they couldn't just keep running. They needed a plan. "We need to lure them to the canyon," he said, pointing to a rocky ravine visible in the distance. "There, we can use the terrain to our advantage." The alien girl nodded. "Yes, follow my lead." They weaved through the dunes, dodging lasers and fast-moving drones. The girl's excitement was evident, but so was fear. Ryan couldn't help but notice the intensity in her gaze. It was a mixture of trust and determination. She believed in him even when he wasn't sure of himself. As they reached the canyon, Ryan's mind raced. "We'll make a choke point. I can use the exosuit's energy pulses to collapse part of the canyon, trap them." "Do it," she shouted. He activated the exosuit's pulse, sending a concentrated shockwave toward the canyon walls. Dust and rock erupted, blocking the pursuers' path. The remaining enemies faltered, giving them a brief moment of relief. "Good work," the alien girl said, her laughter mixing with adrenaline. "I knew humans could be clever." Ryan smiled, though his heart was still pounding. "I didn't do it alone. This team of 3 works pretty well." The exosuit responded with a low, almost happy hum, as if acknowledging their combined effort. Ryan could feel it. The connection wasn't just mechanical. It was a living entity reacting to their unity. As night fell, the canyon's shadows stretched long and dark. Ryan and the alien girl, tired but exhilarated, finally found a small alcove to rest. The exosuit folded around them like a protective shell. "I never thought I'd bond with a human," she admitted quietly. "And yet, here you are." Ryan nodded, watching the twin moons rise over the canyon. "Neither did I, but it feels right. Somehow." They both fell silent, the only sounds being the gentle hum of the exosuit and the distant whispers of the wind across the canyon. Tomorrow they would face more dangers. Tomorrow, they would test the limits of human and alien cooperation. But tonight they had survived together. For Ryan, it was the start of a new chapter, one where humanity wasn't just exploring the stars, but forming bonds with beings beyond comprehension, proving once again that courage, ingenuity, and heart could shine even in the most alien of worlds. And for the alien girl, this human was no longer just a stranger, he was a partner, someone she could trust with her life and with Aloria. Together they would face whatever came next, blending human adaptability with alien intuition, showing that even the most unlikely combinations could create something truly extraordinary. Little did they know, the enemies they had repelled were just scouts. The real threat, something far older and far more dangerous, was already stirring in the depths of the planet. And when it rose, it would take every ounce of skill, trust, and courage from both human and alien to survive. But for now, under the alien stars, in the protective embrace of a living machine, Ryan and the alien girl allowed themselves a rare moment of calm, a moment of connection that promised the beginning of a legend that no one in the galaxy would ever forget. The night on the alien planet was eerily quiet, the twin moons casting pale light over the red sands and jagged canyons. Ryan Carter sat in the cockpit of Aloria, the living exosuit, while the alien girl, whose name he now knew was Lyra, leaned over the controls, her fingers tracing the glowing panels instinctively. Despite the quiet, tension hung in the air. They had survived the initial attack, but Ryan knew this was only the beginning. "Do you think they'll come back?" Ryan asked, trying to sound calm, though his hands twitched over the controls. "They always come back," Lyra said matter-of-factly. "They never give up. My people call them the Shadow Swarm. They are hunters, relentless and clever. And this planet, they know it better than anyone." Ryan swallowed. "And us?" She gave him a small, confident smile. "We will adapt. We must." Ryan couldn't help but feel the weight of her trust. Humans had learned to survive on countless worlds, but now, on this alien planet, he realized how fragile life could feel when faced with creatures that had evolved entirely differently. And yet, he also felt a surge of pride. He was a human, and humans had never been known to give up. The exosuit stirred beneath them, its bioluminescent panels pulsing gently as if sensing the unease. Ryan placed a hand on the console. "It's alive. It can feel us." "Yes," Lyra said softly. "It bonds with whoever enters it. It knows fear, it knows hope, and it responds." That is why it accepted you." Ryan nodded, his heart steadying. Somehow, knowing that the machine shared some awareness with him made the responsibility feel less daunting, but there was no time to dwell. Distant rumblings echoed through the canyon. The shadow swarm was returning, faster this time, and far more organized. "Get ready," Lyra whispered. "We may have to fight to survive." The exosuit's limbs, extended fully, claws sharpening, panels aligning to generate protective shields. Energy nodes along the arms glowed a fierce blue, ready to unleash blasts that could knock back the incoming threat. Ryan felt a strange connection to the suit now. It moved almost in response to his thoughts, anticipating his intentions. The first wave of the shadow swarm arrived, a series of sleek insect-like drones that hovered above the canyon floor. Their eyes glowed red, scanning, analyzing, ready to strike. Ryan felt a thrill of fear, quickly replaced by determination. Humans had faced overwhelming odds before, and he had no intention of letting this alien girl, or Aloria, face them alone. "Hold the line," he said, gripping the controls. "I'll cover the left flank." Lyra nodded, her fingers flying across her console, activating the exosuit's targeting system. Beams of energy erupted from its arms, slicing through the first wave of drones with precision. Ryan maneuvered the suit around rocky outcrops, using the terrain to their advantage. The drones adjusted quickly, splitting into smaller groups, trying to flank them. Ryan's pulse raced. "They're smart, but we're smarter." "Trust in Aloria," Lyra shouted. The suit responded, a surge of energy pulsing through its core, amplifying their movements. Ryan felt it like an extension of his own body. He dodged and struck in perfect rhythm with Lyra's commands, and together, they began turning the tide. One by one, the drones fell, but the battle was far from over. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. Ryan and Lyra looked up to see a massive form emerging from the canyon shadows. A gigantic shadow swarm behemoth, easily 3 times the height of Aloria. Its armor-like plates glimmered with a strange metallic sheen, and its mandibles clicked menacingly. "That's huge," Ryan muttered, awe and fear mixing in his voice. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "It's the commander. It will crush us if we are not careful." The exosuit reacted instinctively, raising energy shields and deploying multiple weapon arrays. Ryan took a deep breath. This was no ordinary fight. It was survival, strategy, and quick thinking combined. "We need to work together," he said. "I'll draw its attention. You hit it with precision strikes." Lyra nodded, and they moved as one. Ryan taunted the behemoth, dodging massive strikes, while Lyra fired concentrated energy blasts at its joints. The creature roared, a sound that shook the canyon walls, but they didn't falter. Every move Ryan made was mirrored by Aloria's mechanical intelligence. Every strike Lyra initiated was amplified by the suit's systems. Minutes stretched like hours as they battled. Dust and sand whipped around them. Energy beams carved trenches into the rock. And yet, somehow, they survived. Finally, Ryan saw an opening, a weak point in the behemoth's armor near its chest. "Now!" he shouted. Lyra focused all her energy, the suit responding with a brilliant pulse of light and force. The blast hit perfectly, and the behemoth staggered, then collapsed with a ground-shaking crash. Silence fell over the canyon. Ryan exhaled, leaning back against the suit. "We did it. We actually did it." Lyra's face broke into a wide smile. "Humans are incredible," she whispered. "I doubted at first, but now, you have my respect." Ryan felt a warmth spread through him, a mix of pride and relief. He had survived against impossible odds, and more importantly, he had proven that humans could adapt, think, and fight alongside alien allies. As night deepened, the exosuit settled into a low hum, cooling its systems. Ryan and Lyra climbed out of the cockpit to stretch their legs. The canyon was peaceful now, the bodies of the fallen drones scattered across the red sands. Above them, the twin moons shone brightly, reflecting off the jagged cliffs. "Do you ever wonder why they attacked us?" Ryan asked. looking at the distant horizon. They know the planet is valuable, Lyra said thoughtfully. Not just for resources, but for knowledge. Aeloria is ancient. My people have guarded it for centuries. And now, humans are part of its story. Ryan smiled faintly. Then I guess we're allies now, not just survivors. Yes, Lyra said, her voice firm, and together we will protect this world. For the next few days, Ryan and Lyra trained with Aeloria, learning to anticipate each other's moves, sinking more deeply with the suit. They explored the surrounding canyons and deserts, discovering hidden energy nodes, ancient ruins, and signs of past civilizations. Each discovery reminded Ryan of humanity's potential, curious, persistent, and capable of forming bonds with beings far beyond their understanding. One evening, as the suns dipped below the horizon, Ryan and Lyra stood on a cliff overlooking the vast desert. You know, Ryan said, I never thought I'd find a friend like you, or something like Aeloria. Lyra smiled. You are more than a friend, Ryan. You are part of something greater now. The bond we share with Aeloria, it changes everything. Humans can do things others cannot imagine. Ryan nodded, feeling the truth of her words. Humans had always been adaptable, brave, and inventive. Here, in a distant world with alien allies, those qualities were shining brighter than ever. Suddenly, a signal flashed on the exosuit's console. A faint distress call. Ryan and Lyra exchanged glances. More trouble? Ryan asked. Yes, Lyra said, a hint of excitement in her voice. But this is what we are meant for. Humans and aliens, together. Let's see what awaits us. They climbed back into Aeloria, the living exosuit humming in anticipation. Together, they launched into the sky, moving toward the signal, ready to face whatever challenges the planet, or the universe, might throw at them. As they flew, Ryan marveled at the possibilities. This planet, this alien girl, and this sentient exosuit had opened his eyes to something he had always believed deep down. Humans were meant for the stars. They could adapt, survive, and thrive in ways no other species could. And with trust, courage, and ingenuity, they could form bonds that transcended worlds. The shadow of future battles loomed on the horizon, but Ryan felt no fear. He had faced the impossible before, and he knew that humanity's greatest strength wasn't just weapons or technology. It was the heart, the mind, and the determination to rise above every challenge. And with Lyra and Aeloria by his side, he felt ready for anything. Together they would explore the mysteries of the universe, confront dangers, and prove that humans, even far from home, could shine brighter than any star. As the twin moons illuminated the alien desert below, Ryan Carter piloted the living exosuit with confidence. The bond between human, alien, and machine stronger than ever. And somewhere in the distance, new adventures awaited. Adventures that would test courage, creativity, and friendship, and show the galaxy that humanity truly belonged among the stars.